Yo, what's going on YouTube? Trading Gaming coming back with another Rise of Kingdoms video. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about the madness that's been going on in this latest Imperium KVK matchup reveal. 1093, 960, 1818, and 2293. Looking to run it back again from last KVK in the Heroic Anthem that we just played. And yeah, we're just going to kind of simply go through. It's been quite the day of a little bit of trash talk, some diplomacy woes, people not seeing eye to eye, and that is kind of what comes with Rise of Kingdoms, and it's one of the reasons why I personally stepped down from leadership. So without further ado, let's sit back, relax, and enjoy. Running it back with 960, 1818, and 2293 joining the mix as well. And this has been pretty messy pretty much from the get-go. I think it didn't take long until we got word that there were claims that it needed to be a 1v3 situation. I want to say that it was 1818 who's standing the hardest on that claim. But I think also the camp, including 960, was also standing pretty firm on the fact that they did also want it to be a 1v3 as well. I'll just give you my personal thoughts on that real quick, and we can actually pull up some of the powers. So here are the powers and the kills for each camp, and you can see here that I'm not even going to go through the nitty-gritty of the numbers. What I basically want to kind of key in on it, and again, just give my quick opinion on this, is I believe last KVK, we were also at a power and kill point deficit. I do have that quick reference right here. So as you can see, 960 along with 1818's camp had 90.7 billion power, and then the bottom camp had 84 billion power. Now, if we go back to this latest matchmaking here, even if we wanted to do, I think what's being suggested here from the 93 side is that we do a 2v2. Even if we did a 2v2, we would still be at a little bit of a power discrepancy. This would be 64 billion, or say 65 billion power. Meanwhile, 1818 and 960 camp would be at 73. So we would still be at a power discrepancy, two KVKs in a row if 1093 and or if all camps agree to this. The way that I look at it is I've always been really big on player population counts. Look, I understand that we had a good migration, but to ask our kingdom to go, let's say we're a two kingdom camp, right? Because 93T and 93X can essentially be in a kingdom each on their own. You're asking for a 2v9 situation. 1093 did a 2v9 a few KVKs ago, but that was that was against a bunch of A seeds, albeit they weren't at the power and a little bit as fat as they were then. And that was still a very difficult KVK for them. And I do even believe, I remember Silent saying in voice one day is that they would have lost that KVK if the A seeds did just a few things differently. So 2v9 is a very tough task. I actually even come from an experience too when I was in 2975 where we did a 1 versus 14 in Kingsland, and although it was like really fun because of how chaotic it was, and I feel like there was some good moments that we had there, ultimately we knew that we were going to lose that. I mean, it's a numbers game at the end of the day in terms of population. And I mean, you're going to have not only the amount of players playing, but the amount of farm accounts that you're going to be able to use. It's just, it's so multiplicative against 93 that like, it just wouldn't be a smart decision for 93 leadership to say, yeah, okay, we'll take that. And this is my opinion on putting myself in 93's shoes, right? I have some leadership experience. I've built a kingdom before. I've done these kind of diplomacies. And this, as I mentioned in the intro, this is like one of the reasons why I removed myself from leadership from leadership play in Rise of Kingdoms, because it's just sometimes it's too much, and sometimes the things are just a little too ridiculous to kind of deal with, and it's exhausting at the end of the day. So this is what we would be looking at in terms of power and kill points. We honestly, kind of going into this, we might get a cancellation. I'm not sure if this is going to be the first or not. So we can get a cancellation on this. I'm not sure if this is the first time that it would happen. Leave a comment down below if this is actually one of the first times. I did ask in the 1093 Discord, no one's gotten back to me yet, but you can vote to accept or reject these matchmaking results. If all kingdoms vote to reject the results, this match will be immediately canceled, and all participating kingdoms will automatically re-enter story registration. Now, we also have this, I pulled this specific shot from Cigar of 1818's Facebook post, where he posted this, and then right underneath this picture here, which I don't have, it actually shows like the rating of the matchmaking, and it looks like he gave it 1 star. So it does look like 1818 is standing firm on the fact that they want this 1v3. And if they don't get the 1v3, then they're opting to cancel it. Now, again, it needs all kingdoms to vote to reject it. So like, if all kingdoms don't, I don't really know what happens. I guess we just proceed with the KVK. I don't know what's going to happen after that. Like, do we just get a few months to farm and maybe fight, and there's some rewards up for grabs? And like, I don't know. I don't know where it goes if all kingdoms don't accept and agree to this term that Lilith has put in play here. And then one other thing I just want to throw out here is that there has actually been some Diplo leaks here that we see also from the Rise of Kingdoms Facebook group. Seems like 960 and 1818 are not happy and only want 1v3 for another easy win. So it's not just 1818. It does look like 960 is also standing pretty firm on this. Not really going to offer my opinions on this matter here. Whatever's going on in Diplo, they have enough going on. They don't need some random YouTuber yapping about what's going on here. But the fact that some Diplo things have gotten leaked like this is kind of crazy, honestly. So we have Maury, our buddy from 2293. You've made your stance clear that you're scared. That's fine. And Mamer from 60GT. Yes, Mr. Memento Mori, we are so scared of your great kingdom. So unless you're guaranteed to win, you're not fighting. The power in KP isn't off by much. If not, just reject the map and rematch by Lilith, says Mercy. Yeah, exactly. If we aren't guaranteed to win, we don't fight. And then Nico comes in, and then I think the stats are a little bit flip-flop. So this was the 960 1818 camp last KVK, and then this was 1093 and 2293, and then this is 1093 and 2293 as we were just looking at them, and then this is the 960 and 1818 camp. So we actually would have the advantage on them in terms of kill points, but in terms of power, they still have the edge. So yeah, it looks like 1093 and 2293 really want the 2v2, and 960 and 1818 are pretty much like, nope, we want the 1v3, or we're gonna opt to cancel, as we've already seen Cigar, who has allegedly opted to cancel the matchmaking and also rated it a 1 star as well. So very, very spicy, very juicy. Look, it might even turn out by the time I get to upload this video, which I'm going to try to do so relatively soon. It might be canceled already, so we shall see. What are your guys' thoughts on this wild diplomacy whirlwind that's been going on for the rematch scenario? It's not like a true rematch. I mean, 960 was the 960 of old, and not this kind of new and rebuilding 960 under the leadership of Cortex and crew. So it wouldn't be a straight running back. But what are your guys' thoughts on this opinion? What do you think that the matchup should be? And if you were in 1093 shoes, would you opt for the 1v3 with the good migration that we've had? Let me know in the comments. Depending on what happens with this too, I'm looking to go live tomorrow at around 8:30 my time, which I believe is like 21:30 UTC or 22:30 UTC. I'm still getting used to my Australian time zone and the UTC adoption in Rise of Kingdoms, so bear with me. But I am looking to go live tomorrow. Depending on how the information swings, just stay tuned. We might be going live to cover Rise of Kingdoms, or I might be going live tomorrow to play some Marvel Rivals and get my ass kicked like I did today. So love y'all. Later. I'm out. Take care. Peace.